Hi Flosstube, it's Darlene with Darlene Dion Designs, back with another Flosstube, number 54. Today is February 6th, 2025. It's been a while. My last regular Flosstube was January 8th, but in that time I have done two Flosstube extras. One that was all of my starts from 2024, and then one that was a Pinker and Pumpkin quilting parade. So if you missed those, they're there in my channel, so you can go back to check them if you missed them. It's been a good month. I'm getting my groove back on, getting more creativity, starting to feel a little better physically. I didn't mention this in my last video, but I might as well go ahead. I was diagnosed with diabetes the first of the year, and that kind of threw me for a loop. So I'm definitely making some lifestyle changes, and I do not like blood. I've never been able to handle a lot with blood. It's a thing in my family. But I am pricking my finger twice a day to check my blood. So, and I'm doing fine with it. So yeah, it is slowly coming down with lifestyle change and some medication. So yeah, it's been a lot for me. I wasn't surprised, but I sure didn't like it. So anyway, that is the news on that front. But yeah, I'm starting to feel more like myself. I've been home a lot. It's cold. It's very cold here today. For those that are new, welcome. So glad you're here. I'm on Canada's East Coast in Nova Scotia. And we definitely have winter here. We're having a typical winter. When I say typical, I mean typical more to what they were like 20 years ago. We've had snow on the ground. Mostly since Christmas, we've had snow on the ground. I think there may have been a couple of days that it cleared way early. But for the most part, there's snow on the ground. There's not a lot. Today is the coldest day we've had yet. This morning when I got up, it was minus 20 Celsius, which is minus 4 Fahrenheit. And so that's the coldest day we've had so far. And it has warmed up almost to above freezing. But now it has started to go back down. We're supposed to have snow again tonight, and then a nor'easter on Sunday. So yeah, like I said, it's been a good winter. I like a winter that gets cold and stays cold so that you don't have that back and forth. I'm a winter girl. I love winter, but it's not everybody's cup of tea, I know. Anyway, so I've been home a lot. I told my sister, I think this is the most hibernated winter I've ever had. I was at the doctor's office on January 2nd. On January 3rd, I had to go for blood work. I was to church twice, and I was out to lunch with two friends one day in January, and those were the only days I was out, and I loved every minute of it. Now this week I've been out 3 days. This Thursday I've been out 3 days already. Yeah, so that's it so far for February. And if we had another February where I was only out 3 more days, hey, I'd be very happy with that. Stitching and quilting and watching Flosstube, it's been lovely. I've enjoyed every minute. Yeah, so I have stitched a fair amount. I haven't sewn a whole lot. I'm just kind of not back into that a whole lot yet, but I'll get there. But I'm just enjoying home and you know, just hunkering down and taking life slow. It's nice. I love that for this time of year for that. Anyway, on to the stitching. That's what you're here for. I have a new release. Darlene Dion Designs is cross stitch and quilting patterns that I design and sell in my Etsy shop. And I sell all the cross stitch patterns at this point are digital PDF, so you print yourself. I am in the process right now of possibly going to paper patterns for the cross stitch. My quilting patterns are all paper and most are also digital, so you can choose whichever one you want for that. But my link for my Etsy shop is down below if you want to have a look at that, and it is called Darlene Dion Designs. Excuse me. Okay, so I did have a new chart released just yesterday. If you've been here for a while, you know that I have done a loose line of Quakers. I really love stitching Quakers, and I really enjoy designing Quakers. They're a lot of fun. I get a lot of satisfaction out of finishing each little motif on a Quaker. So I'm going to show you my previous ones. This was my first one. God bless us, everyone, from Tiny Tim's famous words from A Christmas Carol. And these are all stitched on 36 count linen. And I do 1 thread over 2 linen threads. Your choice. You can do whatever you want. This is a green background, a green print background there with some dust on it. Anyway, so that's a red and green. This is one of my very favorite Quaker designs, and that so far is in all of my pieces. Then my second one was True Patriot Love for my beautiful Canadian maple leaf. And there's that design again. I just love it. With some provincial fabric on the back. Then the third one was Sweet Spring. A little bit softer with the stars again. Tulips, springy things. Some very pretty yellow and green fabrics on the back. Fabric. And then the next one was Stitch All the Things. And you guys have blown up my Etsy shop with this one. Wow. Thank you so much to those of you who have already purchased this. I'm just thrilled with how well it's done. So red with a touch of green and some buttons, which, you know, there's that star again. Anyway, that was really fun to design and to stitch. And so a new one in the Quaker line is, take the dust off, there's a dog hair on there, Stitchy Friends. I thought this would be really cute for a gift exchange, stitching exchange for retreats and whatnot. There's the stars. Now, I stitched this for a friend, and I'm hoping that you will do the same. My initial is here, D for Darlene, and this is a surprise for Sarah, and she has probably got to watch this before she receives it. So there is S for Sarah. Sarah is the rocking chair stitcher here on YouTube, Flosstube. And Sarah, for I think just before COVID, Sarah and her husband Josh moved here. Less than a kilometer up the road from me. And they started coming to our church, and we got to know them. And while she was here, she got involved in cross stitch. She was very involved in embroidery previous to that, but she got into the cross stitch. They adopted a little boy while they were here, and last year they decided to move back to Ontario to be closer to family, which I absolutely understand, but I miss her very much. I love her, and she's just the sweetest lady. They're very missed in our church and in our community, and Josh and Sarah both. So Sarah, this is for you, and it will be in the mail. I love you and I miss you. It's got some blue on the back, and the pattern is available now in my Etsy shop. So if you would like to stitch this for a friend, it's there in the shop available for you. 4 colors. There's a blue, a green, a brown, and a white. And my inspiration for the colors for this, I didn't bring it in here, is the winter sampler from Crochet Go-Go. I love the colors that she used in that, and the same colors I've used, 4 of the same colors in this that she did. I trimmed it with some Lady Dot Creates, I think it's called Rain, the color Rain Chenille. And I stitched it on a piece of 36 count Stars Hollow by R&R Productions. So, some of you had already purchased. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Okay. So, in my starts video, one of the extras that I did, I showed these finishes, but for anyone who did not watch that video, I thought I would show, I should show you my book of days. So my January book of days, everything that's red is a finish. Everything that's green is a start. And everything that's black is just continuing work. So, and I took this idea from Sean, Periwinkle Stitcher. She puts her empty thread floss drops here for the projects that she's finished, which I thought was such a fun idea. So I had a finish for Plumberry Sampler from Bent Creek, Seasons of the Heart, the spring from With Thy Needle and Thread, My Soul is Fed from With Thy Needle and Thread, and Pumpkin Flower Sampler, again from Bent Creek. And I finished block 2 of Hawk Run Hollows, the Shores of Hawk Run Hollows. So I'll show you those. But, and I had a restart and the start from my new Quaker. And then I moved on to February. And there's something else I was going to say about it. Oh, WIPGO. I'm doing WIPGO again. WIPGO for January was number 11, which was Real Comfort for me, and number 20, which was Huckleberry Farm, and I'll show you both of them. Okay, so these are the finishes that I had. Oh, where's my board? It's never right where I want it to be. Okay, oh, she's upside down. Okay, so this is spring Seasons of the Heart from With Thy Needle and Thread. So like I said, you've seen it before if you were here for my starts video. And that's on 36 count. I think it's, yeah, it is Vintage Country Mocha. It's one of my favorite fabrics. And then this is the Bent Creek Plumberry Sampler, and it has yet to have the buttons put on it, but I don't have the buttons. I have some blue ones, but I'm going to try to get some burgundy ones. And this is the pumpkin one, Pumpkin Flower. And again, I think I'm going to put orange buttons, and I think I have some that will work for that one. And this is My Soul is Fed. And that's from With Thy Needle and Thread, Keeper of the Pins book. This one. So that's 2 finishes out of there for me. That's in my tomato bag. So those are fun, quick stitches, really fun. And I'll wait and finish all FFO all of them when I've got them all done. Okay, so that is 4 sort of 5 when I show you the others finishes that I had in January, which is my goal for this year. If you're new here, last year I turned 60 and I attempted to do 60 starts, but life got in the way at the end of the year, and I ended up with 54 4, I think it was. Anyway, this was one of them, and it's called Bless Our Nest. And it is a Sub Rosa design. And I started this on my mom's birthday last year in February. And I didn't get a very big start, but I picked it up last week and got a fair amount done to it. So I've got the basket partially done, the eggs are done, and the bird, the breast of the bird is done, and the vine is done. So now it's just the bottom part of the basket with the bow and the rest of the bird, and I haven't decided if I'm going to put the wording yet. And I'm stitching that on 36 count Edinburgh linen color. The color is antique linen. The fabric is Edinburgh linen. So that's a beautiful one. I love it. Okay. So that was a whip. And those were all my finishes. Okay, another whip. After watching Sew Me Sarah, not in her previous one, I think it was her, like the one before her her latest one. She does one thread a day, you know, one red thread before bed or whatever. Some people start their stitching day with one thread and whatnot. So I have 2 projects that are red. I actually have 3, but I was working on this one, and this is kind of my travel piece. I take it because it's 32 count. It's a little easier to see. And I'm stitching this on Lucan, I think it's called, the 32 count Lucan. And it's Home Sweet Home from Modern Folk Embroidery. And I'm using Schoolhouse Red from Simply Shaker, the Gentle Arts. That's what these are from. And I ran out of thread, so I had to order more. So this is where I was. And the thread came yesterday, so I'll get back to that. But I was stitching on that every day. And I got a lot done. Let me see. All of this, I think all of this pretty much I put in since I seen you last. Maybe not all of it, but part of this border. And I brought this border down, and I brought this border down, and I did all of this alphabet along the bottom and this since I shown it last. So the thread came yesterday, so I'll be able to get back to that. And I'm keeping that in this little bag. This was the first bag I made. And my other red thread is Modern Folk Embroidery. Also, that one was Home Sweet Home. This one is Real Comfort, a Jane Austen one. And I'm stitching this one 1/1 on, I think it's 25 count, but I didn't measure. It might be 28. And this was a restart. I had this one on a 16 count Ada, and I didn't love it. It was blue, a dark blue. And I had to frog something, and I cut the fabric when I was frogging, and I thought I was going to be able to cover it, but I decided to scrap it and start over. And I'm so glad I did, because I'm just loving the 1/1 for this. So I should have put the book behind that. So this is where I've been working with the one thread, but most days it ends up being 3 or 4 threads. I don't often quit at one, because I'm in the flow and I'm really enjoying it. So I had this side of this vine done. So I finished all of this, all of the words, and I think I had I think I had this house done and maybe this house done. So I finished that and all of these, and now I'm doing the words, and I brought both borders down a ways too. I'm not sure. There is another row of numbers, and it looks like initials. I don't think I'm going to put that row in. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. So I've probably got 4 or 5 red samplers. This will be these, when these 2 are finished, I will have 4 or 5 red samplers done. And I have never framed any of them. The other 2 are quite small. One is a waltzed iris naps piece, and one is a piece that I found online. It was a freebie. And one is the lady designs for Orifil. Oh, I can't remember her name. Anyway, so I would like to get them framed and get them on the wall somewhere in all together, the red ones, which would be lovely. So anyway, and then I also have going, and I may do a restart on this also. Michelle, Mom Loves You GB, did a Flight of Angels when the Queen died, and Prince Charles did her, or King Charles did her eulogy at the funeral. He talked about the Flight of Angels, and she did a stitch for that quote. It was just beautiful. So I think I may do a restart on that one. Okay, the Shores of Hawk Run. So many people I've seen are, I'll show you this side, are stitching this. And I started this last year, I think on New Year's Day, but I'm not positive. I think so. And I have this one done, and I finished up this one, and I started this one. I think there's one rock down in here that I don't have done because I'm missing the color. So that's my progress on that. So you can see I've started this white in the corner, which, you know, it's white. I'm not loving it, but I'm trying to put in a thread or 2 every time I pick it up. And like I said, I finished this one, and now I'm on the 3rd one. So it's pleasant stitching. I enjoy it. I'm stitching it on 36 count oatmeal from Shepherd's Needle, and I'm stitching 1/2. So this water is full coverage. That'll take some doing. But this one looks like it'll go fairly quickly. But that house in water, that's gonna take some time. That's almost all full coverage. That will take quite a bit. Even that water, that's a big old house. Anyway, I'm not in any hurry. I'm just enjoying it and taking my time. So I'm participating in the leap year Sal. I can't remember what the hashtag is, which they don't work most of the time anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm doing Consider the Lilies for my 4-year project from Heartstring Samplery. And there's 24 pages in the book. So it was my goal to do a half a page each month for the 48 months. And I am keeping up. I'm amazed, absolutely amazed. There's my progress on that. So I've come all the way across. I have not put anything in this center medallion piece, but I'll wait until I'm near the end when I decide what I want to put on there. So this time, what have I added? I think I added this flower and this flower and this flower. I think I did the bee skep last month, so I would have added this and possibly part of this. This one is actually more done than it has to be. I added both of these motifs, and I think I added this bird. That might have already been done. I'm not positive. I think Maybe one of those trees too. Anyway, I'm all caught up. I'm so pleased. So pleased. And that I'm stitching on. I think it's the called for. Winter Brew, 36 count Winter Brew by R&R Productions. Reproductions. Really enjoying that. So the plan is to stitch that on the 29th of each month, and it usually takes me a day or two, or this time it only took me one because I had a lot of it done previously from things that overlapped. So, okay, and my last whip is, I have it printed, but the print is not, the color is not great. The Blue Flower Huckleberry Farm, and this was a restart. I love this. I love all the animals. And I had started it, I don't even know. It's got to be at least a year, maybe even a year and a half. And I had this piece of fabric that I dyed myself. And I started it. And it's 32 count, and I'm doing 2/2, and I don't like 2 threads. When I started this, that's mostly all I stitched with was 2 threads. But wow, now that I've gone to 1, I just don't want to stitch with 2 anymore. And I've got 2 or 3 other projects that I need to finish, like Strawberry Fields Forever. That's 2/2. I started the Winter Trio from Waxing Moon. I've got one of them done, and I even considered doing the other 2 in 1 thread on a smaller count fabric, but I don't know. I just want to stitch with 1 thread. It's just, I like the way my stitches look better, definitely with white thread. But anyway, I restarted this on a piece of Highland Edinburgh linen from Picture This Plus, and this is 36 count, so you see the green modeling through it. It's really pretty. It's 36 count, and I'm doing 1/2, and I'm gonna make some changes. That border is not the right color, so I'm gonna change colors as I go, what I like. But the butterfly is done. Anyway, I really like this a lot better. So I had a project started on this that I started last year, and when I thought of this fabric for this project, I'm like, oh, I'm going to take that out, because I wasn't convinced that I was going to continue with that project anyway. So I decided to take that out and use this fabric. So really happy with that decision. Okay, so that's all of my stitching. Everything else I wanted to mention was Flosstube. Oh yeah, Flosstubes. I have watched a lot of Flosstube. Like I said, I've been home a lot, stitching a lot. I don't watch TV during the day, but I do watch Flosstube while I'm stitching, or I listen to an audiobook. So who have I watched? New to me was Elle Snaps, or Ellie Snaps, Elle Snaps, I think it is. She's great. I think she's got 4 videos out. She's around my age, I would say. I really enjoy her very much. Nicole Spohr, I've been watching Nicole Spohr. I have watched her in the past, not much, but I've watched a lot of her stuff recently. Really enjoyed her her finishes that she did in 2024. That was a great video. She showed all of the pieces that she finished. Most of them are FFO'd, but not all of them. So that was really enjoyable. And then Christy from Crosshatch Quilts, she posted twice. Twice in a week. I was so excited. She's She's like my all-time favorite. And yeah, so she posted a video, a regular Flosstube, and then she posted, oh my goodness, what was the second one? I can't even remember, but I've watched it twice. Anyway, she's wonderful. So, and then, you know, all the regulars. I've been watching Carol Saltbox. I've been watching Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow. I watched Cornhusk Steak Quilt Stitchers, Cornhusk Steak, I think they're called. I know that there was another new one, but for the life of me, of course, now that I want to, I've been watching Mrs. Stitches. She's nearby me, about an hour away. My friend Lee, Creative Lee, she's from New Zealand. I watch, she posts every weekend, so I've watched her. I can't remember them all. But I've watched a lot. It's been great. And I've watched, there's a lot of new ones. There's a lot of new ones on right now. So always, this time of year, there's always some new ones, and that's a good thing. So anyway, yeah, I've really been, like I said, enjoying Flosstube, enjoying my stitching, enjoying my books, and making nice meals for, you know, I really love being home this time of year. And hubby gets home, he works in carpentry work, and, you know, if he's outside, he's cold, he comes home, it's nice to have a nice meal ready. So yeah, I said earlier that it's very cold today. It had warmed up. It's getting colder. We're supposed to get some snow again tonight, and then quite a bit of snow on Sunday, a nor'easter. So Sunday is, I don't know if it's 10 to 15 centimeters or 15 to 20. I think it was 20, and then they took it back to 15. Anyway, we'll get what we get. So that's it for me today. Can't really think of, oh, I did want to do a giveaway for my new Quaker. So I'm going to do a giveaway for 2 charts, PDF charts. So if you are interested in this, you would have to stitch it from your device or print it yourself. So all the rules that go with giveaways on Flosstube: you have to be over 18, because I'm going to ask for your email address. You have to subscribe to my channel. Don't use any of the catchwords like giveaway, freebie, none of them, because they just attract the bots. All those things. So if you would like to win a copy of this, put your name or in the comment. What word will we use? Let's use the word friends, Friends. Make sure you have the S on the end of it. And I will do a random word search on my next Flosstube. Not sure when that'll be, probably 2 to 3 weeks. And I will give two charts away. So use the word friends in your comment today for a chance to win this. And I think that's it. Like I said, I hope to be back in 2 to 3 weeks. Not sure. We'll see what life brings my way. All right, friends. Nice to see you. And Sarah, I hope you see this. It would be better if you didn't see this. I thought about posting at the beginning and saying, Sarah, you're not to watch this video yet, but oh well. I have been watching Sarah too. Sew Me Sarah, Rocking Chair Stitcher Sarah. There's so many Sarahs. Stitchy Reads Sarah, Stitchy Reads. There's just too many Sarahs. Anyway, Sarah, I love you. I miss you. And I hope you enjoy this little gift. Okay, my friends, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.